Today we are going to talk about the northeast sector of India, which is extremely important. And this is not just going to help you with respect to SSBs, but also in the CDS, NDA and the CAPF exam. It is extremely crucial for the same. So what you have to genuinely know is that where does the northeast actually lie in, okay? And how is it contributing in the GDP of India, and what are the factors, the discretionary one, which makes them different than the mainland, okay? So we're going to get started real quick. Before we do, I want you to know a few factors. This area right here is called as the Siliguri corridor, okay? It is called as the Siliguri corridor or the Chicken's Neck corridor, okay? So the area right here, and we do have a lot of units of the infantry and the artillery placed here in West Bengal, Jharkhand and Chhattisgarh. We also have them as standby units. We do also have standby units in Odisha, and we also naturally have them in Sikkim. Okay. Now what is very crucial here to understand is that why is it so important to protect northeast from everything that is there? I mean, what is it that is actually contributing to the northeast at the end of the day is my question. And if I have to really answer that for you, the answer to that is that if we do not protect this area, and we have Chinese here, okay, it is going to use its cartographic aggression and the salami slicing policy to now dictate and capture this place. And if it does, at the end of the day, we are going to have similar problem what Pakistan had in their 1970s, that it was not really able to administer Bangladesh at that moment. Might actually have same thing with the Siliguri corridor also, because this is the part which divides India into two parts, okay? So it is the eastern India and the mainland that is there, okay? So please understand this area is extremely crucial for us. We have Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland, Manipur and Mizoram. Now understand that I have actually came across a lot of students who are not even aware that this is called as Arunachal Pradesh, this is Nagaland, this is Manipur and this is Mizoram, and then they go to SSB, and when the interviewing officer asks that can you tell me the northeastern states, they're not able to answer at first place. So you have to understand that it's very important for you to understand that these states play a very crucial part in the perspective of India as a whole at first place, okay? That is why we're having this as our first lecture. Now, another thing is that what I've told you, the Chinese use what we call as cartographic aggression. Now what is cartographic aggression? What is cartography? It is basically the art of making maps, okay? We're talking about maps here. And why does China actually use it? Because it has an aggressive policy where it is trying to dominate the entire world by putting in the salami slicing policy. See, China will never come and tomorrow and claim entire India. It is not going to do that. What it is going to do either way is that it is going to start claiming some part of India, because they resemble to the Chinese, they resemble to Myanmar people, they don't look like people of the mainland, okay? That is one. Second, it is that it has a lot of tribes, so it is understood that there could be smuggling, there could be money factor that could be oriented there, so a lot of things. And anyways, China do have a policy where it has to be very aggressive and start capturing land and, you know, make a place disputed area in the UN and then just try and claim it at the end of the day, just in the way that it did for Aksai Chin, Shashkam Valley and POK. Okay, similar things have happened here as well. Shashkam Valley was actually gifted in prospects of Pakistan to China, with what authenticity I still am figuring out, but this has been gifted to China, right? So I hope this is clear to you. I hope this is clear to you, because this is one of the most important part of the subject, and that is there. Now we'll study about the geography. Please understand that the northeast sector is very geographically different than the mainland, okay? We have a lot of dense forest, we have a lot of tribes, Mishmi, Nishi, then Kuki tribe, we have Nagas, so a lot of different tribes that has been settled in these areas, and as I've told you that they have a resemblance with people outside India and not within India. Are you getting me? So, and they naturally also face some sort of racial discrimination in their lives, because people in India, in the mainland, still don't consider, a lot of them don't consider these people or these states as a part of India, but it is constitutionally very much a part of India, and obviously it is, but there are still some people in India who will not unintentionally will not consider this part, this as a part that is definitely there. Now, why is this part so important for us is the first thing that we have said. Now the second thing is, I've already told you that there are a lot of RT and that is the infantry units placed in this area, and we have understood why, because this area is certainly important for us, and we have Sikkim also right there. Okay, now what happens is we have a lot of RT units placed in this part of the country. Okay, and the reason to why is not very shocking, because we have China here. Okay, we have China here, and most Chinese population actually is residing in this part of the country, because here we have the Tibet, right? So here we have the Tibet, and most part is residing here in this part. So naturally it is easier to attack, right? I am very curious that what is your take on if India should have a defensive policy or an aggressive policy like China? Is there a need for change or something of that sort? Excuse me. Okay. This has been discussed. Now, there is a river that actually comes in Arunachal Pradesh and takes a U-turn and comes in Arunachal Pradesh. This river in Tibet is called as Sangpo River. Okay, it's called as Sangpo River. Now, how do you know what is the river's left bank tributary and right bank tributary? Now, the easiest way, very basic, easiest way is that to know that where the river is flowing and to stand in the direction of that river, and to know that if my left is going to be reverse left and my right is going to be reverse right. So, if it is flowing this way, my right is this, so this is the right bank tributary, and my left is this, so left bank tributary. Correct? Now, if the river is flowing towards south, okay, now tell me which is going to be the left bank tributary and the right bank tributary. Naturally, if I stand in this direction, my left is going to be this and right is going to be this. So this is the right bank tributary. Easy? Now, we have one tributary which is called as Rango Sangpo. Okay. Why does this river out of nowhere takes a U-turn? And there must be some sort of reason that this river takes a U-turn. There is a hill which is called as Namcha Barwa. Okay, there is a hill which is called as Namcha Barwa. It is because of this hill that the river takes a U-turn within itself. Okay, and then it comes to India. It comes to Arunachal Pradesh, and yeah, there are a lot of tributaries of Brahmaputra. We have Sikang, Dibang, Dehang, Lohit, and all of it. So in a similar way, what I had actually thought when we had the Indus Water Treaty, that if we can stop the water of Indus, do you think that the Chinese can also stop the water? Right here? Okay? But there's a cohesion here, because this river also feeds Bangladesh, and it has to pass through Bangladesh. So that is there, because Bangladesh and Chinese have relations with respect to that, so that is definitely there. So one of the reasons that they can stop the water, just like we did for Indus, but since we have Bangladesh here and the same water flows in Bangladesh, that is definitely there. Okay, that is one consequence of the same. So I hope you have got this. Okay, with respect to the northeast sector, Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland, Manipur, Mizoram shares a typical boundary with Myanmar. Okay, Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland, we have the Naga tribe. Manipur, okay, in Manipur we have two important things. One is the Loktak Lake. Okay, we have the Loktak Lake, right? And the next very important thing is we have the Kabul Lamjau National Park, which is the only floating national park in India. Okay, so something you have to know with Manipur. Now we have Mizoram. In Mizoram we have one more important thing, that is that we have Molasses Basin. Okay, and it is only here we get something that is called as Blue Mountains. Okay, then we have Assam, we have Meghalaya here, okay, and there are three most important hills in Meghalaya which is named after a tribe, which are Garo, Khasi and Jaintia. Okay, Garo, Khasi and Jaintia, so these are there. So I hope this has been clear to you. I have told you with the perspective of why this place has been left out. It has topographic issues, it has transportation issues. Please understand that if I am an industrialist and I have to set up a factory, I might not, like maybe today I will, 10 years back I might have not put it or got it in Arunachal Pradesh, because there has to be transportation, there has to be communication, there has to be infrastructure and everything for me to put a factory there, and factory comes with economy, right? So a lot of things that are linked with each other that are there. But however, a lot of progress have been made. There is tunnels that have been, progress has been made in the northeast section, which is a very good prospect with respect to India, because we don't just have to make progress, we have to actually take the people of Northeast together and work as a whole, because we are we are together a part of the same entity. Also, one more thing that I would like to discuss with respect to Northeast is that a lot of times I've seen that Northeast people demand for a separate time zone. Now let me tell you what is a separate time zone. Basically it is nothing but like having a different time zone for the mainland and for the Northeast, and I'll tell you why. If the sun rises in Arunachal Pradesh at 4 AM in the morning, it is rising at 6 AM in Gujarat. Okay, so they are leaving 2 hours behind. If the sun is setting at 4 PM here, it is setting at 6 PM here. Okay, so now please look it in a perspective of someone who's from the Northeast, that you have to wake up at 4 in order to start your day, and by 3:30 in the afternoon your day is going to get over. So I do understand the perspective, but in my own personal opinion, if we actually give the Northeast, or we actually have the Northeast a different time zone, we already have created a lot of barrier between us and them, and now we'll just prove it in another way. I do feel that there should be something that should be done for the time zone issue, but a perfect time zone would definitely not be a right answer for it. But yes, something has to be done about this, so that these people also have opportunities to do better and get better at the end of the day. And yes, I've told you about tribes. There is Nagas in Nagaland, Nishi, Mishi, Methi community, we have Kuki community. With perspective to Manipur, if I have to talk about the terrain, it is more or less like this. The terrain in Manipur is like this. Okay, so if it is the part, the middle part is plains and the entire part is dense forest. Okay, so naturally people are going to try and settle in the plains just like the Aryans did in Indus. So same thing. So more or less the fight begins more or less from here only. We're not going to get into it, but I just wanted to typically talk about the terrain, so that anytime if you're talking about tribes and everything, you can just put forward this perspective as well in the SSB. Okay, now I hope you have understood what I've tried to explain in a very short glimpse, because if you come with this much of information, go to SSB, you certainly become more knowledgeable and more confident. All the very best. I am going to see you in the next one.